fucking show.
Hey folks, how you guys doing? It's Will Patterson here, live on a Wednesday for Tight End Loose Out, the number one super modified podcast in the world. And why is it the number one super modified podcast in the world? Because it's the only super modified podcast in the world. So I just want to go ahead and thank you guys for tuning in, jumping on here, saying hello to everybody. We're going to have ourselves a special guest today, DJ Schumann. I told you guys, I've been wanting to get some of these SBS drivers on here. I've been neglecting these guys. And you know what? We're going to get them on. And DJ was, I reached out to him and he was more than happy to go ahead and come on. We had to go and we had to fight his physically, had to fight his girlfriend, Jenna. She wanted to go do Jenna things. And I told DJ, nope, I have your ass tonight. So we got a good laugh over that. But yeah, so thank you, Jenna, for letting DJ come on in here and have some fun with us today. So yeah, so with that being said, folks, where's my wonderful, wonderful co-host? Oh, there he is. There he is, playing peekaboo with me. Yeah, so Dave, what's that wonderful sign you got there behind you, buddy? Tell us about that.
That's funny. You should ask, Willie. Well, right behind me, as you can see, is Outlaw Light Beer. And they are the official beer sponsor of Redline Radio and Redline Network. So if you got a Drug Mart by you, a Giant Eagle, a Sheetz, make sure you go check them out. They're there. And here's what we'll do. If you go get some Outlaw Light, you taste it, you take a picture of yourself with Outlaw Light, because this is what the can looks like right there, and Redline Radio, or no, you send it to Redline Radio. We'll put you in a drawing to win you a free 12-pack of beer. So Outlaw Light is the official beer sponsor of Redline Radio and the Redline Network, and we're giving away free beer. Who the hell doesn't want free beer?
Right, I'm telling you. Yep, I'm telling you. Yep. So, Donald Cathard said, "Hey," and I'm saying, "Hey," right back. Todd Schumann says, "Nice T-shirt." Will, do you like that, Todd? Huh? Do you like that stud? Huh? I represent the boy. Come on now. Yeah. Hey, was that Moose that was just on here saying hello too? How you doing, Moose? Good to see you. Yeah, there's my buddy right there. There's my buddy Moose.
That's Moose, not the Lodge.
That's Moose Kingsley. Let me tell you, that's a big boy right there. Let me tell you. So, but no, you know what? This week right here should have been High Miler week. I should be on a plane right now, flying up to Ohio. Either I should have been flying up this morning or tonight. Normally, obviously, you guys know Sandusky Speedway is no longer with us. It's even though they're painting the sign and doing this, doing that, getting everybody all excited like this track's going to open back up again. I don't think that's going to happen. I've just been talking with a lot of people up there over the last few months, and I don't see it's going to happen, but it sucks. And I know a lot. I used to see a lot of my Oswego friends this week right here, and it kind of curved the itch for wanting to see my friends until Classic. And I know that I'm going to be I did go up there earlier this year in might as well call it June. It felt like February up there for a Florida boy like me. But I did see some super modified racing in this year. But I was talking to sponsor of the show, good friend of mine, Jason Kingsley, was talking to him on Monday. And he had stated, he's like, "Yep, this would be High Miler week." I said, "I know." I said, "That means we're about 5 weeks away." So, yeah, 5 weeks away from Classic, folks. I'm not trying to wish away the summer, but man, I can't wait to get back up to Oswego. I can't wait. Oh my God. So I'm so excited for that. So been really super busy with work, everybody. I just want to apologize about that. Also, I know normally I let you guys know on Monday or Tuesday who the guest is going to be, and I've just been so swamped with work. I'm a cold calling son of a bitch right now, so I just have no time. My brain is fried. So, but I do have enough time to come on here and talk some super modified racing with you. We got some great super modified racing going on this weekend. We got Jennerstown with the ISMA Tour, and then we got Lancaster, the Outlaw Series is going to be running there, and they got guys coming from Ohio, guys coming from Oswego. I've even heard of a couple New England cars are going to make the trip over there. As it's official now, it will be $700 to start, no matter if there's 20 cars or 24 cars, courtesy of Tight End Loose Out. I said, screw it. It didn't matter. Get them all there, and let's and there's going to be a little surprise bonus if there's under 24 cars for a particular division. I'll let Larry Gibson announce that at the track. So, with that being said, Dave, how was your weekend, man? How was your week going so far, brother?
Hey, Willie, I'm glad you asked, man. My week is going fantastic, and it couldn't be any better, man. You know, the weather's actually nice here. It's not too hot. It was a cool, brisk 63 degrees when I went to work, and when I got off, it was 81. Yeah. So it was nice to get off and not being shirt permanently indented into your stomach because it was so hot. And but yeah, other than that, man, had a good weekend. Really didn't do much, but I'm looking forward, man, for 2 more weeks because Lorain County Speedway is opening back up for the first time this year in 2026. And like me and Willie said last week, we want you guys to go support the racetrack and quit crying about the 3 nights that they're racing and what they're racing at the racetrack.
Absolutely.
Okay? So I see people bitching and moaning in the comments over there about what's going on at the racetrack.
Richard thinks you're gay.
Who is that?
I don't know who Richard Boyle is.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either. But anyways, yeah. But as Dave was saying, folks, Northeast Ohio, get your asses to the racetrack. All right. You know there's a race going on there next weekend. We're going to go ahead and we're going to push it and promote it here live on the show. We're going to let you guys know about what's going on. And I'm telling you guys right now, whether it's super modified, street stocks, you guys got to play the long game on this one if you guys could, please, because if you want super modifieds back in your backyard, you better go support it while you guys got it right now. Because if you guys don't have it right now, if you guys aren't supporting it right now, it's not going to be there for you later. I can promise you that right now. So with that being said, get out there, support your local racetrack. If you live up there in New York, there's no racing going on up there in the Oswego area. Get over to Breweton, get over to Fulton, get over to Shangri-La, Lancaster, wherever the closest track is for you guys around there. And, you know, just go watch some racing. I'm telling you guys, because you guys are going to be the first ones crying about you have no racetrack. And the biggest, the biggest ones you got to do is point to yourselves. Start taking your kids to the racetrack. People, start taking your neighbors to the racetrack. Start taking some buddies from work. Go tell the wife, go tell the girlfriend, we're going to have a little guys' day or something like that. Go to the racetrack. Go pound some beers in the parking lot or pound them in the grandstands. You know, just go have some fun. You know, and go catch a good race. Because if we don't,
go ahead, Willie.
If we're not out there supporting it now, I can't stress this enough. It's not going to be there for you later. And you know, just go in the pits, meet these drivers. You're going to say, I don't know these guys. Well, go in the pits after the race. Go. I'm sure they'll love to talk to you guys after the race. You know, the biggest thing about getting a new fan hooked is having them meet the drivers, because once they get that personal connection with the driver, they have something to cheer for, somebody to cheer for. That's why I always like to take new people into the pits, get pit passes instead of getting grandstand passes, because I want them to meet people so I can say, remember that guy we talked to? Yeah, well, he drives that car there, or he drives that car there, or even she drives that car there, so that way they got a personal connection and they got somebody to cheer for. And if they got somebody to cheer for, they're going to want to come back more often, so.
And also too, drivers, now listen, pay attention. We know that it's late in the season. We know some of you got your cars put together. Some of you don't. I better see pictures or hero cards with you at the racetrack, especially for the opener. And you better walk around or send somebody into grandstands to send them around and hand them out to every single person or drop them off at the front gate. And every person that walks in the gate should get one of them cards because, again, like Willie says, face with the car. That's what they like to see. They like to know what you're driving. It's really good for the kids. It's really good for the people in the grandstands to learn who you are because sometimes these people don't know who the man behind or the woman behind the helmet is. They don't know, or the kid behind the helmet. They don't know. They have no idea who you are. So again, and this is what I'm going to say one last time on it. All you people who cried throughout all summer long about not being open, I better see you at Lorain County Speedway on August the 8th. Okay. August 8th, you better get your asses in the grandstands and get there and support the racetrack because you guys bitched and moaned the whole time it was closed and now it's open. I better see you guys there because even though I'm not working there, I will still be there for the 3 races to support them. So I know that if I'm going to go there, I better see your asses there, and I will keep tracking tally, and I'll call your asses out on Facebook for the people who stopped me and asked me if the Lorain is opening. Now, listen, you may not be happy. You may not be happy who's running the racetrack, but who gives a shit? Get your asses to the racetrack. Quit crying because we don't know what the future is after this year. We don't know because no official announcement has came out. And I'm not saying that's closing and I'm not saying that's opening. It's 3 races. Is this a trial and error thing? I don't know. So get your asses to the racetrack and go support. Doesn't matter who's running the racetrack. Get your asses there and go support it because I'm tired of hearing about people, the racetrack's not opening. I better see your asses there. August 8th, 6 o'clock, green flag drops. Them stands better be packed, and the whole parking lot better be packed, and all the way out to 113 and 58. I don't want to hear nobody crying about anything.
That's
not
it.
The price to get in the racetrack, not the food prices, not nothing. Get your ass to the racetrack and support the racetrack because you never know what can happen in the future.
Right. Absolutely. Nobody's seen it closing, at the end of last year, so, and nobody's seen 2 Northern Ohio racetracks within 40 miles of each other closing at the same year, at the same time. Nobody's seen that coming. And it was completely shocking and very sad.
And the funny thing about that is too, Willie, is both announcements were within a week of each other.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what I said at the same time. I was almost simultaneously, so 2 tracks that just beat up on each other for, I think they beat up on each other from like 1984 to 2025. Yeah. Almost 40 years they raced against each other and talked shit about each other for all those years, and they both wound up killing each other, so and at the end they did try to work. They did try to work towards the end. I shouldn't say for all those, almost, I should say 40 plus years. And
I'm going to touch on something about Sandusky Speedway too. For all you people, Rollo did his little videos ride through, right? For all you people who are on there complaining that Sandusky Speedway is not opening, or you're 70% of the reason why that freaking racetrack's not open. If you guys would have just went out and supported Kevin in the High Miler and Sandusky Speedway over this year's, there may be potential that there could have been a High Miler this year. But you guys did not go out and do it. Nobody's can blame Kevin. Enjoy your retirement, Kevin. Take your vacations, spend time with your family, your business, and all that. Nobody should fault him for closing the racetrack. Fault yourself, drivers and fans.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Drivers just as guilty in this party too. I'll sit in my car. I'll let it sit in the garage and collect a foot of dust on it before I ever go back to that track again. So yeah. So, all right. Dave's off his soapbox. I'm off of my soapbox. So, all right, folks, let's get to the, as I like to call it. I told him that I was going to start calling this segment this is the Jason Kingsley Go Grab Your Drink segment. Dave, let's roll the sponsors.
All right, here we go. Number 1.
All right, folks. Welcome to the Fisher Custom Printing Studio, live here with Will Patterson, tight end loose out. Fisher Custom Printing, phone number 440-371-8424. They cover all your printing needs, whether you need T-shirts, lettering for your race car, lettering for your business. They even do banners. As you guys can see, they ship coast to coast and even into Canada. So if you guys have anything that you might want for your business or any type of lettering for your race car, go ahead and give Clay and Bethany a call. Clay will actually be out there at Lancaster Speedway this weekend racing the number 69, which we'll get into that with our sponsor, our wonderful sponsor, Al Miller. Al says, hey, what's up, gentlemen? You guys have a great show. Thank you, Al. But yeah, go ahead and give Fisher Custom Printing a phone call. Tell them Will sent you from Tied In Loose Out. You guys will watch this show. You guys already know. Promo code Tied In Loose Out. All right. Then we got Lenny Fowler Bush Trimming Service. Nobody trims the bush better than the big Lenny. He gets in there nice and deep. And we're just going to leave it at that. He's disgusting. He is. Oh, and then we got Cruiser. Cruiser is a brand business that is making a lot of cool things out there. He's making koozies. He's making these super cool clocks. Folks, I told you I got a lot going on. It will get hung up eventually from the move, but we will get it up there. He made me this wonderful clock here, folks. It lights up the whole 9 yards. I'm telling you guys right now, go on over to Coozer's website, not website, but Facebook page. It's ran by Randy Riskus. He's making all sorts of cool things. So if you guys got any type of race car, things that you want to pass out to the fans, get a hold of Randy Riskus. I know he'd be more than happy to take care of you. That's Coozer. That's Koosier. Oh, then you got Atkins Glass. They replace all automotive glass and RVs too. So go ahead and get a hold of them at 419-625-8421. They're based out of Sandusky, Ohio, right there on Perkins Avenue, folks. Get a hold of Courtney and Randall. Tell them Tied In Loose Out sent you. I'm telling you guys, you get yourself a nice little discount there. Use that promo code, folks. All my sponsors on here, folks. I'm telling you right now, use the promo code Tied In Loose Out. They will take good care of you. Then, hey, speaking of the devil, it's like Beetlejuice. You say his name 3 times, he pops up, and it's Al Miller Racing, my good buddy Al. Yep, Team Gunslinger. Boo-boo. That's right, baby. Owner of the number 69 350 Super Modified, that would be racing at Lancaster Speedway this weekend with his driver, Clay. And if you guys have any, lettering that you guys want to go ahead and have Clay take a look at, go ahead and pull Clay off to the side and ask Clay about his wonderful business that him and his wife have. The Fisher family's been really great, and so is the Carl. So, go ahead and get a hold of those guys. And you got Al Miller Racing. Al Miller Racing's been one of the OG sponsors. I think he was one of the first or second people to go ahead and start donating money to the show every year. So he sends me that $69 check. And why is it $69? Because he's number 69. That's it, baby. It's all right. Al Miller Racing, folks. And you got Lifetime Roofing, expert roofing contractors based out of Fulton, New York. Phone number 315-297-4589. Now, folks, I'm telling you, it's rainy season down here in Florida, and for everything I'm seeing up there, it's getting rainy, it's getting windy up there. If you guys have these guys come out, give yourselves a roof inspection. They'll be more than happy to go ahead and check out your roof before the winter season comes. It's better to go ahead and be proactive than reactive. Go ahead and get a hold of Lifetime Roofing. They're your expert roofing contractors. They're based out of Fulton, New York. Phone number again, 315-297-4589. Excuse me, folks. Sorry about that. And you got JC's Custom Woodworking. Nobody plays with their wood like Big JC, based out of Hannibal, New York. But in all seriousness, folks, this is a legitimate sponsor of mine. He has a wonderful Facebook page. He's doing raffles every single week. Go on over there to JC's Custom Woodworking. He makes wonderful things. I just seen him make some cornhole boards. House Divided, I seen. It was a Dallas Cowboys and San Francisco 49ers. Beautiful cornhole boards that he made for some wonderful customers of his. I'm telling you, if it's wood, JC knows how to play with it. That's JC's Custom Woodworking. Okay, so you got Reinhardt Kingsley's Mowing, based out of Oswego, New York. Phone number 315-751-1160. That's Reinhardt Kingsley's Mowing. If you guys got any mowing or you don't want to do any mowing, go ahead and get a hold of my boy Jason. He'll be more than happy to take care of it. And I'm telling you, it's a good, affordable price. And folks, you know that promo code. Go ahead and use it. Get a hold of Big J. And you got Big Jim's golf cart taxi service. Nobody gets around town like the Big Jim. Based out of Oswego, New York. In all seriousness, it's Big Jim Coloca. He's always strolling around that golf cart, taking people from the flats up to the track. So if you see Big Jim on that golf cart, holler at him. And it's a cheap price, folks, all right? Just give him a beer, all right? Takes you and all your family and everybody. I use it whenever I come over for Classic. Whenever I got to go to the front straightaway for Saturday's mod race, I'm always on Big Jim's golf cart. Takes me down to Schulich's flats there for carnivore night. I'm telling you, just give Jim a beer. He'll take you around. Hell, he might even introduce you to some girls. So if you guys are single looking for the chicks, get a hold of Big Jim. Nobody gets around town like Big Jim Coloca. Then you got Oswego Storage Ports. Secure, reliable, and dry. 74 Mitchell Street. Phone number 315-216-7726. Or go to OswegoStoragePorts.com. That's a good buddy of mine down here in Florida, Ron Vale's business. And he loves Oswego, loves the super modifieds. Great sponsor here, a great sponsor addition to the show. So if you got any storage issues, you guys are getting ready to move, you're in between houses, the kids are leaving to go to college and you want to empty out the room, go ahead and get a hold of Oswego Storage Ports. Tell them Tight and Loose Out sent you, folks. You guys use these sponsors. Make sure you guys use the promo code with it too. They'll take good care of you. Then you got Rupert's Party Rentals. Everything you need for an unforgettable event. Book it today. Phone number 315-532-4304. They're based out of Fulton, New York, but folks, they take the whole area between Syracuse, Fulton, Oswego, Hannibal. They cover that whole area. They got bounce houses, dunk tanks. They got tents. They got chairs. They got whatever it is that you guys need, for any type of party, type of situation you got going on. I know grad parties are going on. Wedding receptions are going on. Weddings are going on. Hey, if you're not using Rupert's Party Rentals and you watch this show, are you stupid? You guys can get a discount. Rupert's Party Rentals. And you got Big Chief's Tax Service. Nobody cooks the books like the Big Chief. Big Chief is based out of Oswego, New York. Nobody cooks the books like the Big Chief. Then you got Catalone Pizzeria, home of the meatiest calzone ever. It's thick, it's juicy, it's runny, it's just packed full of meat, big, thick, juicy meat. So get a hold of Zach Catalone at Catalone Pizzeria, based out of Hannibal, New York. Speaking of big meats, you got Big Mike's Meats, home of the double XL tube steak, based out of Fulton, New York. So if you guys ever come up for the Calcutta and you guys smell that delicious meats that are being cooked there for the Calcutta, that's Big Mike's Meats. And if you guys are ever down in the flats there for the regular season races, you guys smell them delicious meats, that's Big Mike's Meats. Tell Big Mike you've seen him on the show here. No reason for a promo code. He'll let you enjoy his meats for free. So go ahead and get a hold of Big Mike's Meats. Oh, you got Kingsley's Outdoor Service, making the outdoors red, white, and awesome. Based here out of Central Florida, phone number 863-282-9714. They do land clearing, brush cutting, and all your dirt work needs. So if you guys have anything in that category, go ahead and give Kingsley's Outdoor Service a call. I'm telling you, they're going to show up patriotic. Is that it, Dave? Is that all of them? That's it. Okay. Well, we definitely kind of ran over here. Let's go ahead and see what my buddy Al Miller has to say. Tell everybody to come over to the 69 up at Lancaster. And I made some pretty cool hero cards. So you heard it from the owner himself, proud sponsor of the show, Big Al Miller. I love calling it King Gunslinger. I do, Al. I'm sorry. Rubbins Racing. All right. So with that being said, folks, let's get around here to our guest. Everybody come on back from getting your drinks, go in the bathroom. I know you guys hate the sponsor segment, but hey, I got to go with the folks that pay the bills. Gage, what's going on, man? But yeah, so with that being said, he's an SBS driver based out of Oswego, New York. Driver of the number 62. He's not a DJ, but his name is DJ Schumann. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the DJ Schumann.
Well, hello. Thanks for having me, Will.
Hey, DJ, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Sunny today. Minimal amount of rain today in New York, so we're surviving.
There you go, folks. You hear that? There's some rain. Go ahead and get a hold of our sponsor and have them check your roof if you got any roof leaks. That's good. That's good. We've been dealing with a lot of rain down here in Florida, but 'tis the season for us right now. But it's kind of really funky. But we're getting rain, but nothing measurable. So it's really weird. We're almost into a drought season, actually. But yeah. So, what's the temperature like up there right now?
Well, it's kind of a cool day today. I think looks like it's probably about 70 today. It was kind of one of the cooler days today. It was kind of nice, actually.
I was going to say, yeah, that's got to be really
jacket,
nice.
Shorts, it's perfect weather.
A jacket at 70, DJ?
Well, when you were in 90, 70 feels a little cool, that wind off the lake, right?
Oh yeah. I remember from living in Ohio in Lake Erie. Yeah, she gets kind of snappy up there in them Great Lakes for sure. Yep, I remember them days. Don't miss them though. Don't miss them. So what you been up to, DJ?
Oh, not a whole lot of racing, unfortunately, with the rain out last week and, the every other week off here. But, we've been working on the car here and trying to get prepared and get all our ducks in a row, so to speak, for, I guess, August 8th is the next race now here at Oswego. So yeah, we'll be ready to go.
So how long does it take you guys to go ahead and go? I mean, if you don't wreck, you load the car up into the box, and you get the car, in one piece. You unload it back at the shop either that night or the next morning. What's a typical turnaround time now that you got this, escalated time off now? Do you guys just kind of just hammer it all out, nuts and bolts and, everything off the car? Or is it more detailed now with you guys when it comes to maintaining the car? You can take all the body panels off and maybe take off the trailing arms and the uppers and lowers and the shocks, or is it just kind of still a basic maintenance program that you got going?
I think it depends on who you are and what you got going. We've been pretty seasoned in this now with our 5th season, so we've got a pretty good idea what type of parts wear out, what type of parts we need to check, where our problem spots are on our car to kind of investigate every week. So for us at this point, I think we don't necessarily strip it down completely every week, although I know some people do. Check our bearings, check our brakes, check fuel filters, basic maintenance.
Right.
Just trying to make sure that we eliminate any potential problems from week to week. Spark plugs, oil change, that the basic stuff. Usually we have a checklist of things that we want to check every so often. Maybe it not be every week, but every 3 or 4 races. So kind of hammer those things out. And then the great battle with Hoosier tires usually takes a little bit, trying to get them to stagger up and make sense of the chalk marks that come in. But yeah, nothing too wild for us, anyways.
Yeah, let me tell you something. It's the same with us down here south when it comes to the super late models too. There'll be a ½ inch off on his chalk marks, and it's like, what the hell, man? Yeah, especially you get the chalk marks like down here in Florida. It's an impound after qualifying. So what you go out with is what you got to start the race on. You can't jack the car up. You can't do anything. So it's all of a sudden the car snap you loose, and you can't do any tire tricks to try to stop it from growing. So yeah, those chalk marks are real bitch.
even from one session to another, doing different things, growing, shrinking. So it's definitely a tricky aspect to things. I couldn't imagine with the impound rule how hairy that must make things.
Oh God, yeah. So the guys, they got tire specialists down here. They know how to read the code, the code numbers and stuff. So they know how fresh they are. They know how, and they kind of just know on how they're going to grow. And they make really good money doing this as a full time job. So yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, if any of them work for beer, send them up my way.
That's for sure. Yep, I will be sure to do that. So, okay, DJ, well, good chatting up with you about that type of stuff. So, like I tell everybody, I always do a little pre-interview with everybody before we go live and stuff. And I was talking with DJ, and he was letting me know about some things. So, it's guys got to have a great interview, great story, and we're going to go ahead and take us down memory lane and how DJ, how he got his start into racing, and with that being said, so DJ, how did you get your start going to the races first?
Yeah, so I kind of grew up as a kid, spending my time at a dirt track. Um, my father and my uncle Todd, I know he's listening here, but he raced dirt mods in Pennsylvania. Growing up in Pennsylvania, a lot of dirt tracks where we were. And my father and my uncle both got their starts because their father raced. So my grandfather, and then actually my mother's grandfather too raced dirt cars. So dirt racing and racing in general have been in my blood forever. So I was a bleacher creature as a kid, and then um, in the '90s, Uncle Todd and my father Mark decided that they were going to take a little hiatus on their racing, and my father decided maybe get my brother and I into some go karts. So I remember taking a trip to Hamlin Speedway. It was about 30 minutes from where I grew up in Holmesdale, PA, and um, checking out the go karts. And next thing I know, Dad came home with a go kart, one go kart for two kids. And my brother being 6 years older than me, we weren't racing in the same division. They had restrictor plates in the go karts, so Dad would, in the beginning, would change the restrictor plates out in between heat races and in between features every week. Only one kid got to run practice because he didn't want to do it one more time, and and we alternated going back and forth, and you know,
so,
uh,
so whereabouts in PA were you guys located at?
yeah, northeast corner. I mean, if you've ever driven through the state, closest probably landmark is Scranton.
Okay,
So
yeah,
yeah, yep.
yep.
I always where I grew up, probably only 10 minutes from the closest border to New York. So really
Okay.
in the corner. So
So you don't live there. I mean, you're in Oswego now, though, right?
yep, yeah, I've lived
Yeah.
in Oswego for ooh, 9 years, 10 years, but in New York for 14 years, I think. So
Okay. All right.
yeah.
So you got the start in the go karts between you and your brother. Honestly, okay, we won't hold it against you. Who was better, you or your brother?
Well, I know he's probably listening, but I think we all know that I was better. He'd still be doing it, maybe, but
Oh, and that's what I thought myself too. I figured if he was any good, he'd be racing. I mean, that's what I
my
thought.
brother was and still is very meticulous and was always more detailed about the setup. But when it came to the being behind the wheel, he wasn't quite as aggressive as I was, and a little bit more passive. So he ended up getting hung out on the outside a lot, if you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
going backwards. But
The freight train was coming through,
yeah, yeah.
huh? So, how was your success in go kart racing?
Yeah, I actually, I don't remember a whole lot about the first time,
How old? Well, how old were you?
I was 9 years old,
Okay, all
so
right,
1997, I believe, and the only thing I really remember was holding the victory lane picture because I won my first race. So
all
that
right.
that had me hooked from there, and think we won not that year because after Dad got sick and tired of changing restrictor plates, he basically said, "You race one week and you race the other week," and we swapped back and forth. But the next year, won a championship and went on to win a couple in go karts and had a really good run as a kid racing go karts. Um, and then as it progressed, I got a little older and kind of had to pay my own bills. Um,
Huh.
Still race go karts because that's what I could afford. So
How? age wise, where are we at right now on the timeline with age? Where are we at right now when you're
Yeah, so I
told?
probably about, I think, I don't know, I'm just guessing here. Probably 16 to 18. Dad said I'm done paying for it, and you can keep the equipment, but I'm not doing it anymore. So we did that for a while after that, a long while. And you go through your career and you get hooked up with somebody else. I drove for a couple different people over the years in the go-karts. Um,
Now, was this dirt, asphalt, road course?
So this was primarily dirt. Although we did dip our feet in the water a little bit of indoor racing, right? Like you ever seen the Champ Carts at Atlantic
Oh
City?
yeah, love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
we
Yeah.
used to go. There's a race in Syracuse. We compete there. We go to Harrisburg, PA for Motorama. Compete there. I did King of the Concrete, North Carolina. I raced
Right.
Columbus indoor concrete in Ohio. So I
You
did
guys
that
came
for.
all the way over to Columbus, huh?
Yeah, when I was in it all. I mean, all the way to Greensboro, North Carolina, for a couple of years. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you race it against anybody that you're currently racing against now or see
Oh,
racing at Columbus? 'Cause I know back in those days, man, like there's a lot of the super modified drivers that are
well, shoot.
racing
I mean,
every.
I raced go karts in Columbus against Charlie Schultz. I mean, that guy runs everything, right?
Yeah,
So,
right. I've raced against Charlie Schultz.
yeah, he don't care. But I
Yeah.
had actually a lot of memories racing indoors and with Danny Kaye.
Okay.
Um, and we battled when we went to North Carolina, raced against him because he was living down there at the time. And then, of course, he came back to New York and battled some more after that in go karts. And then, obviously, the story goes on that we've continued to race against each other. So,
Right. Right. Yeah. So that's great how it comes full circle because if you look at the Stevens brothers, Talon and Trent Stevens and um, Mike McVetta, and Mike McVetta, they all raced against each other from time quarter midgets to sprint cars to super modifieds. They followed
yeah,
each other up all the way up through, and now they're
yeah,
battling on the big track with the big cars now. So
yep.
yeah, it's kind of ironic how that happens, how you follow those guys all the way up through. So yeah, but that's really cool.
A lot of the
Um,
guys I raced with kind of went the dirt world, being where I was from. But here and there, you still run into a couple people. There's some people running asphalt mods that I grew up racing with and stuff that
mhm.
now that are doing that. So it's cool to see how people progress through the racing program. The older we get and the more experience we get, right?
Yeah. So dirt track boy, Northeast PA. I'm going to ask the question. How the hell did you get on over there to the Big O up there by Syracuse, up there in Lake Ontario? How'd you get turned on to the Big O?
Yeah, so younger years and met a girl, and came up and watched some races, and really kind of fell in love with the racing up there, and spent some summers coming back and forth, and then settled down in Oswego, and kind of went there every week when I wasn't racing myself at the time before I ended up getting behind the wheel at Oswego. Just dipping my toes in the water, and 2007, 2008, really kind of enjoyed seeing Oswego Speedway. I mean, it was I don't want to say thriving, but it was good. It was exciting. I mean, and really piqued my interest that one day that I wanted to compete there. So
So how? Okay, so you mentioned a comment when I got on here, and I'm figuring this was going to be the answer, but I think that everybody else needs to hear it. When you first came there, and when you got the itch, you said, "You know what? I want to race here." What was the division that you wanted to get into?
well, boy, I mean, everybody wants to race a super modified, right? Like,
Right, right,
still to this day, I still have that itch, right? But
right.
the pennies and the commas in the bank account don't always make that work. So you do what you
Well
can
put,
with what you
sir.
got, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So you said, "Okay, well, I can't afford that."
Yeah.
And probably back at that time, there's only two divisions then, right? There's
Yep.
only the SBS and only
Yep.
the big block.
Yep.
So
Yep.
there was no 350 division yet.
No.
So he said, let's try out this, I still call them limited from time to time. So I apologize, but they are the SBS class. They call them that now.
Yeah.
So first car that you wound up buying, how did that deal all come about?
Yeah, well, before we got into the limiteds, we had a span of running micro sprints or 600 sprints
Oh,
on
okay. Yeah,
dirt.
I'm sorry. Go
And
ahead.
that
Continue.
no, yeah, no, and I met in the end of my go kart career. I met what is now one of my best friends and my crew chief, and raced go karts for him. And then he kind of got burnt out with it and said, let's try these micro sprints, which are basically crotch rocket engines strapped to some 1.25 inch metal tubing. So 150 horsepower to 700 pounds with driver, right? So fuel, methanol, fuel injected, electronic fuel injected. They were very fast, and that was a lot of fun. So I did that for 4 years probably. Um, Kind of traveled through New York State, Pennsylvania with that, and had a good time. Had some opportunities to race against Kyle Larson. Went down to Millbridge in North Carolina, raced with Christopher Bell. So some good opportunities in my racing career with that as well, and really
Hmm.
kind of helped me get a little bit more experience before I made my jump, if you will, to Oswego Speedway. So
Did you know who those guys were when you were racing against them?
yeah, I mean, you knew who you were competing against, and I always tell the story. There's a little track in Pennsylvania called Action Track, and in Kutztown, PA, and they run a big speed week down there, and there's 60, 70 of these cars entered, and I kind of joked that Kyle Larson and I were both in the same C main, you know. um, it's not for the weak, right? Those guys are definitely top notch, and they're racing for $10,000 to $15,000 all over the United States every weekend. So
Yeah. What I was meaning was like, was Kyle Larson when you were racing against
oh
him
yeah,
back then?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah,
so
he
was
was.
T-Bell.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Seabell. That was during COVID when we weren't supposed to be
Oh,
racing,
okay.
and
Okay.
that's why I went to North Carolina. They were able to race there. So yeah, I mean, he
Gotcha.
was in his pristine auction uniform and everything. He was, yeah, no hiding who Seabell was. Yeah.
Yeah, right, right, for
Yep.
sure. Yep, they
Yep.
were in full swing in those days for sure.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, we
So
will, Al. Al. Can we get to that? Al wants to know the questions. Al, I'm running the show. All right, not you. Let me ask the questions. All right. I'm just kidding, Al. But yeah. So, you did the micros. Then what?
So from the micros, then we went and got a limited. I had built a brand new micro sprint, best of everything, and ended up selling it for a good chunk of change. And took a couple months off, and I was going to be done racing for probably the seventh or eighth time in my career, right? And then the itch got me. There wasn't anything in the garage to work on. There wasn't any plans on the weekend, so fall of 2021, I believe. I called up my best friend Mark, who was the crew chief I was just telling you about that I race go karts for, and I said, "Hey, I got a really dumb idea. Are you in?" And he said, "What time do we leave?" So
Yeah,
away we
I
went
love
to,
friends like that.
yeah, ride or dies, right?
Yep, it's
So
yep.
away we went, Rochester, New York. Met up with Ray Sand Jr. and bought a small block from him, a former Russ Brown track record holding car. So we got a good piece when we did, and I think it was probably at one of the lows of the small block division as far as the value of the cars. So I feel like we got a good deal at the time, although we've probably put 3 times, 4 times as much back into the car since then. But
Yeah, well, you know what they say, how you make $1 million in racing,
yeah,
right?
you start with 5, right?
There you go. For sure, for sure. Um, did you have any? I mean, going from a micro sprint over to uh, going from a micro sprint to an SBS car, total different animal. I mean, like you said, it's 150 horse, it's 700 pounds. Now you're going to something that's like, what does an SBS weigh? Like 20,
20
2,500?
2350 is the weight
20,
room.
okay, 2350, what do you got about like 400 some odd horse in those engines?
Yeah, 350 to 400.
350.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere
So
in there, depending on
yeah,
who you are.
right. So yeah. So like talk about power to weight ratio from a micro sprint over to an SBS. You get into the SBS. How was that transition from going from the micro over to the SBS?
Yeah, I mean, about how you'd imagine it, kind of going from a Maserati to a limousine, right? So, I mean, really quick reaction times with the micro sprint, a lot of wheel action. I mean, you step on the gas and you do wheelies with that thing, right? And small block, a little bit more sluggish around the corners. You can really, you know, feel the slow transfer of weight to the corners, opposed to with the micro sprint, we had a big wing on the top at times. Everything happened a lot faster. You're used to be supposed to be yawed out sideways, where you don't necessarily want that in a small block. But I think it did help me when we had poor, or still do have a poor race car, that we're not afraid to be a little bit out of shape and keep your foot in it, so to speak. So
Some old habits die hard, don't they, DJ?
that's right. Turn right to go left.
That's for sure. That is for sure. Let's see here. Michael Kimball says, question for DJ. Do you prefer asphalt over dirt? Which one do you like better?
Boy, man.
Great question.
As a driver, I feel like it's so hard to pick dirt because the track is never the same every time, right? So one day I show up to the dirt track, and we've got a dry slick track, and the next week we show up and it's tacky. So it's never like you're running the same racetrack, right? Definitely takes a lot more driver capabilities to run dirt, in my opinion, than it does asphalt. Asphalt is very rhythm based. But as a guy that works on my own stuff, I like the maintenance on asphalt a lot better. I don't have to get the pressure washer out every week and do all that crap. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think if money was no option, I'd probably have both if money was no option. But I would probably be in a 410 sprint car if we're being honest. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. Like you said, if money was no option, that's for damn sure.
yeah.
Do you feel that having a dirt experience and going into asphalt, dirt helped your racing? What's the word I'm looking here? Helped your racing better. Let's just go ahead and we're going to try to find the big word for this one. This is tight and loose out. But yeah, do you think that, your racecraft, do you think racing on dirt helped your racecraft on asphalt?
Oh, absolutely. I think so. I think it allowed me to have better reaction times, when something's not right, and honestly, sometimes it's slow. The cars feel slower, right? The dirt car was really quick and acceleration, so reaction times. I think that I'm very good at avoiding some accidents and quick reactions to situations. That a lot of that comes from my dirt discipline, and also, to be honest, some of my indoor experience with the go-kart stuff, because that stuff was gnarly, running 8, 9 second laps around those places. So you get forced to have good reaction times. So I think that all contributed to better racecraft in the asphalt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Uh, I've always said once a driver goes from dirt over to asphalt, he needs to learn asphalt racing before he can go back to dirt again, and then he can do the bouncing back and forth. There's been some drivers that I felt that were good on dirt. They went over to asphalt, and they were just starting to get good, and then all of a sudden, now they're going back and forth. They're running dirt on a Friday night, doing asphalt on a Saturday night, and it's just like, and then you see all their bad habits that they brought over from dirt over to asphalt. Do you believe that they should go ahead and like have like more of a discipline on, and then they can go ahead and bounce back and forth, or you just feel like, hey, just let her eat, go for it?
As a racer, I mean, I feel like they both work together, right? They both complement each other, but in the state of where we are, and what like you and Dave were talking about, people complaining about racetracks not being open and whatnot. The realistic part of it is you can race a lot more on dirt. So if you like asphalt, but you really like racing, it really makes a lot of sense to have one of each, so you can have your cake and eat it too, right? So,
Oh, right.
I mean, I've toyed with the idea for quite some time about getting, a dirt car to run, even if it's just spring and fall, or we're in a big gap now in our schedule where we had 3-4 weeks where we could have ran, 1 or 2 of those weeks on dirt, right?
Yeah.
But I think, I don't think there's a right answer to that one, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you want to get a dirt sportsman?
Well, I think that just makes sense with our engine platforms that we have right now, and
Hmm.
the small block supers being the 602 crate engines, and that being the same uh, engine package for the dirt sportsman. That would make life probably the easiest.
Right.
Um, but I don't know if I've completely decided which way in particular, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. So, Gage Merrill says, would you ever move up to super? Let me answer this for you, DJ.
yes.
If somebody owns the car.
Yeah, I joked with Jenna before coming on this podcast when that question came up. I was going to say that as soon as Dennis Rupert bought me a super modified, I'd be behind the wheel. So maybe Jason and Dennis could pull together. They might take some of your sponsorship away from the show, though.
Damn, DJ, there's a guest on the show already trying to woo my sponsors away from me. Yeah, hey, you know what? I would say Kingsley would be a great car owner because he'd just be like, screw it. Rupert would be like, no, I'm driving that son of a bitch first.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
at this point, I'd welcome any car owner because right now I'm the only car owner.
Yeah,
So
that's it. Yep. He's like Talladega Nights, me.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely. But no, Gage, I don't know if you listened to it earlier enough, but he had said, when he first got in, came up to Oswego, he wanted to jump into super modified, but he didn't have the decimal points in the bank account with the zeros hanging off the back end of it. That's for sure. So, yeah, I knew that answer because everybody wants to drive a super modified. All right, everybody does.
Yeah.
But with that being said, before we move on a little bit, what about a 350?
Yeah, I've weighed those options, and not to poo-poo on it, I just don't think it makes sense financially. The costs are very similar to what we're doing right now. Maybe a little bit more. The speeds are, substantially more. They're running the same tires on 3 of the 4 corners that we're running. Adding maybe a couple more tires. The payout's a little better, not substantially better. But they have 7-8 cars every week, and I like the idea of maybe being able to travel. The Lancaster show this weekend you guys are talking about, looks awesome.
Yeah.
Outlaw series doing great things. But in my situation, I just don't know if it makes sense to make that step. I feel like if we were going to make a step, we would go all the way. So
There's a lot of you SBS guys that are just flirting with it, well, there's only 8 or 9 of those guys, but if you
yeah,
like 4 or 5 guys get in, we're going to have 14, 15
yeah,
cars now we're racing against, and,
yeah,
and,
yeah,
and, and I get it. And it's about the budget. And like you
yeah.
said, it's a little bit more, not that much, but it's a little bit more, but God damn, man, you're going that much faster though. That's
Yeah,
gotta be
and the other
enticing.
thing, we talked to some of the guys that run that division. I'm friends with David Cliff, and he tells me, everybody is so close and they're all flat out, right? So you gotta have your car pretty much perfect, right? So, as a driver, that kind of takes a lot of the driver out of it when you got that top wing on and you're full throttle almost the entire time or barely lifting.
Right.
It's just kind of hang on and hope the car is good, right? So I like the idea, and I don't know if you ever had Mike Bruce on the show, but he
Yeah.
talks about all the
Mhm.
time how he likes to go run the small blocks because it allows him to get up on the wheel, and you can kind of almost take a car that isn't quite right and make something out of it, and
Yeah.
that really is what it makes me want to come back to the racetrack every week, right? So
I I really think they would, and somebody's like, no, 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 no. I think they need to take the wings off the top. Oh,
Yeah.
Larry Gibson was on here. I said, I think they need to take the wings off the top and put the Oswego wings behind them. Make
Boy,
it more of a
that would
driver's.
interest me, right? That would
Yep.
be something I would get a little bit more interested in.
Yeah, and there was like, oh well, no, because then you're separating, Oswego and away from everybody else. But it's like Oswego's always been different than everybody else. They've never
Right.
ran wings on a weekly basis,
Yeah.
and this is what they need to do. If it's supposed to be a stepping stone to the next division up, then make it as close as possible to the next division up. In my opinion, all right.
Yep.
So this is strictly the opinion of tight end loose out. And not of DJ Schumann. We don't want to get you in trouble. But yeah, this is strictly my opinion on that. I think because like you said, they're running flat out. These Ohio guys come up and they're like, these guys are freaking nuts. They are like, these guys
and
are
I'm
really,
sure if they came up for a couple weeks, they tune
Right.
their car in and they'd
Yep.
be a little bit closer, et cetera, right? But that style of racing isn't what I'm all about. And it was the same way when I ran the micro sprints. The wing racing was very similar to that. Who's got the most horsepower and who can keep their foot down the longest and still come out of the corner making traction, right? So I like to be up on the wheel and actually drive the thing. So
Yeah. No, definitely 100% agree with you on that one. It's kind of like they're racing quarter midgets. You ever watch those quarter midget races with
Yeah.
those kids?
Yeah.
And it's, they're diving down, coming up, or even those go-karts, it's just not, I don't know. It's a great division, and I believe in it. I'm never going to say nothing bad about the 350 division. I love all open wheel racing. And I think they need to change something a little bit to make these guys drive a little bit more. Okay, we got off on a little tangent there. So what year was it you finally got your first SBS?
2022 was my first season, I believe.
How'd that season go for you?
Or maybe 21. It might have been 21. It was good. That was a big rookie class, a big resurgence in the class. I think there was 10 rookies that year, and we were able to win Rookie of the Year.
Oh, wow.
Finished 4th overall in points that year, a couple podiums. So it was a good rookie campaign for sure, into a new division.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean, and you had to come out of nowhere. Nobody probably even knew who the hell you were, right?
Not too many. I mean, being around Oswego for years prior, living and hanging out at the racetrack, I feel like some people kind of knew that I existed and that I was a race car driver at a different discipline. But I'm sure we turned a few heads and grabbed some attention.
Well, we get a lot of guys down here in Florida that all come from all across the country, and they're coming to the local racetrack, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was the big hot dog up in Ohio. I was the big hot dog up in Kentucky." So you came in, you're this big hot dog over in Northeast PA, and moved over to the Oswego area, and it's like, yeah, right. Let's see what this guy's got. So it's kind of like, oh shit. This dude can drive, can he? Yeah. So where's your family located at? Are they still over in Northeast PA, or do they move up to the New York area too?
No, my whole family's still in Northeast PA, and actually my father drives about 3 hours every weekend to come and work on the car and help, and sometimes depending on how the week before goes, sometimes during the week to help put it back together. So wow. They're all there, but they're involved and helping. My mother comes and watches, probably tries to get about half the races every year. So definitely good to have their support from afar. And my uncle, my aunts, everybody follows. They've all got Flow memberships now because of that, and they wouldn't have had it before. So
right, yeah, same. If it wasn't for Flow, I would definitely be out of the circle. That's for damn sure. So you won Rookie of the Year 2022, you said?
Yeah, either 21 or 22. I'm not sure, but
come on, DJ, you're not that damn old, man. You got to have a good memory.
This is my 5th year, so it was probably 21. Yeah.
Yeah, 21. It was 21. Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
So it was right after the COVID year, first year back after the COVID year.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, then. So go out, get Rookie of the Year, got a couple podiums. Let's talk about the rest of the years. Let's talk about the next 4 years after that. Did you have high aspirations the after winning Rookie of the Year, or was you satisfied and happy with your rookie season?
Well, we were happy, I think, as a team. We kind of got to the point at the end of that rookie year where we thought we had more speed in the car, but we were kind of afraid to change anything because we were consistent, right? And we wanted to hang on to that good season that we had and not let it blow away, so to speak. So we made some changes before Classic. And then, of course, the Classic blues. Everybody's got their Classic stories, right? Struggled in Classic. And every year we struggle in Classic until last year. But, we went down to the next year, did some revamping over the winter, thought we had some really good ideas. Came out of the gate, we sucked, went backwards. Everybody works that way. Put some things back, got some speed back. I guess the moral of the story is here for the last 4 years, we've been fast and finishing in the top three, the top five, but we've yet to win a race. And that's it. That's the bucket list right there. It's a short list. That's really all that matters right now. We grind week in, week out just for that.
So I will tell you this, all right? Now, I'm not trying to toot the old tight end loose out horn here, but there's a little bit of good luck when you come on this show. I'm just letting you know right now. So maybe
we need all that we can.
We might rub some of that good.
So
good
luck. All right. Well,
there you go. There you go, brother. We'll rub a little bit of that good luck, tight end loose out luck over your way. Maybe get a win. Get old Big Rupert there inside victory lane there. Probably enjoying himself for sure. But yeah, he's.
Well, I don't know if there's enough Michelob Ultra in Oswego County for that if that
happens. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 100%. He'll definitely be having himself a good. I think all you guys will be having yourselves a good time. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys will be watching the sun come up in the flats for sure.
Wouldn't be the first time.
So you talked about the Classic. We touched on that, and you not being a homegrown, Oswego person or anybody from, super modified fan for the Midwest. When you heard about the Classic, what did you hear about the Classic? What was your first hearing when someone said, "Oh yeah, the Classic," and you're like, "Oh."
Well, I think when you're not from it, the first thing you hear about is the party, right? I got introduced to that early on, and that kept you wanting to go. But then, the more involved I got, I spent a little bit of time crewing on a super modified, in my younger years. So the amount of work that go. What's up?
Who was you helping out?
So I helped Strong Racing, Pat Strong. I worked with Joey Payne and Michael Barnes, and a little bit of Jerry Curran sprinkled in there. So, but yeah, no, it was a little David Cliff here and there too, I guess. But it's a lot of work. It's a long weekend. It's a very prestigious event, and there's just something about being in that building, inside in the in the pits, with the atmosphere. I don't even know. It's just some kind of aura. I can't even hardly describe it, but it's special for sure.
Absolutely, 100%. I know. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. I got suckered into the pits. My buddy Matt Damon came up and he's like, "Hey man, I could use your help." And I said, "Okay." And then I came, I'd use you in the pits. I said, "Okay, I'll come up." I was already coming up, and he's, had me come in the pits and gave him a hand. And then Matt Dimian, that's his name. But then he said the next year he's coming back up again, and I need you in the pits. I came into the pits.
Yeah.
And then the next year was, I got done helping him out at the 350. I walked down to my boy, sweet motherfucking Lou.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, while you're here,
Yeah, right. Yeah. Then last year, then I hey, you gonna hang out in our pit again this year? I said, yeah, I'll be there again, and then, and I did it again the next year after that. And, I'll probably 99.9% chance I'm going to do it again this year. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's the whole aura. And that's the whole reason. Like I go into the pits to get content for the show.
Right.
and I don't do any. I did some last year during qualifying. I thought it was pretty cool, but definitely I need to get over there to you guys on the SBS. I really, really need to get over there to you guys. I need to meet more of you guys. That's why I'm trying to get more of you guys on here so I can get to know you guys. I think you're the 4th SBS driver I've had on in 3 years. So I really need to step up my SBS game and my 350 game for that matter. I definitely want to reach out to the Hawksbees and I want to get them on together, actually. I want to get, and make that interesting. But no, but the whole aura of it is you look up into the grandstands and I don't even know what it's like to be racing to come catch the green during a classic race has to be just phenomenal.
Just something too about the grid and getting ready and, the cars parked on the grid and they do a good job with making it a deal, right? So it's something every team looks forward to. Everybody is always got in the back of their head and preparing for that. And, not only from a car speed standpoint, but from a financial standpoint, it's a big weekend. Costs a lot of money to do that, but there's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of prestige on the line. And I think that's what it's more about, right? It's not about winning money. It's about the prestige of being a classic champion, right?
Yeah. So, Michael Kimball says, he goes, Willie, this is Michael. I've never been to a classic. Could you please explain it or tell us what it is about? You go ahead and you tell your side. I'll tell my side.
Oh boy. So classics, a 3-day race event starting on Friday. Usually Friday morning, they do qualifying, rounds of practice, and they set up for a big show on Sunday. And then they have a filler division Friday night. The 3 Corvette divisions usually are the main part Friday morning. They get set the qualifying order. Saturday they've got support division and NASCAR wheel and mods the last number of years. Used to be the ISMA cars, which was phenomenal back then. And then Sunday, it's 3 races of attrition, right? So you've got a 200 lap big block super modified race. I think it's a 50 lap 350 race and a 60 lap small block super race, which are definitely longer distances than any of those divisions run all year. Added laps, added money, added fuel in the cars, makes it a whole different race. People running out of fuel. It's just it's a top-notch weekend with some special events.
Right, for sure. Classic for me is a family reunion. I've been going there since 1982. Like I tell everybody every year I go to Classic, it's we have a party and a race breaks out for 3 days. I get there on Wednesday of Classic. I go golfing at a golf tournament, Classic golf tournament on Thursday.
See you there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You'll be there this year?
Every year, last 3 years.
Oh man. Okay. Well, shit. I'm gonna have I seen you there?
Probably in a stupor.
Yeah, me too. Me too. But yeah, I'll definitely look out for you this year. But yeah, go to the Classic golf outing, and then Friday, like you said, it's qualifying for all 3 divisions, and then you have some street stock. They run everybody out of the pits. They have a street stock and front wheel drive race at Friday night, and then Saturday they'll have the sport mods and the NASCAR Tour mods on Saturday, and then Sunday they have the divisions that were qualifying on Friday morning, which will be the big blocks, the SBS and the 350s. And it's a packed house, nowhere near what it used to be. This is why me and Dave always stress all the time about it. We need to get these fans back in the stands again. I was just looking at a Classic race. I was talking to Jason Kingsley about the 1987 Classic. I was watching it over last weekend, and the back straightaway was full. I think the only empty rows was maybe the first 5 rows at the bottom of the whole back straightaway and everywhere up was all the way from turn 2 to turn 3 was completely full down the back straightaway. But that's what Classic is for me. It's a family reunion. There's people that I've known there for almost over 40 years now, between Andy Upcraft and the Kingsley family. So, yeah, if you haven't been to Classic, be prepared to come there and party and have a good time. bring yourself a little cooler, bop around from campsite to campsite. If you run out of beer, I don't think that's going to be much of an issue. Somebody will always take care of you, especially if you come over to my camp, and I'm sure DJ would be the same way over at his camp. So, but yeah, but that's what it is, man. It's a great time to come out and go drinking, have yourself a good time, and make some friends. Everybody's there in peace. I can't tell you was the last time I seen a fight at a classic in the camping area. So, but yeah, so that's what classic is to me and DJ. So, but yeah, DJ was talking about the classic bugs. What kind of classic bugs have you ran across over the years?
Man, well, first year I think we had fuel pickup issues all through qualifying, so we had to start in the back, and then just kind of got stuck behind some slower cars that couldn't get by before we were going to get lapped, and ended up in a jingle. Next year, pretty sure the radiator came loose about 5 laps in and covered me in hot water, and I got into the fan, and so that was the end of that race. The following year, probably my best qualifying effort yet, 8th, I think, maybe 7th, and opening lap going into the first corner. One of my best friends, Drew Pascuzzi, took out my right front and ended my my night there. Thank you, Drew. Never let you live it down.
And I love saying his name, by the way. I got to have him on the show just so I can say his name one more time. Pascuzzi. Yeah.
And then last year was probably our best effort with a 5th place finish and I guess post tech finish a 3rd. So
I was there for that tech.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not getting in on that one. But,
yep. Stay away from that one.
Yep. So that was probably our best effort. We really found some speed last year, and we were fastest in practice all day at Classic, and then botched the qualifying effort to I think 6th or 7th. So really had a really good car, just couldn't quite get through the stuff the way we needed to with the full fuel load. So that'll happen, right? And that goes back. That was another situation of one set of tires was a lot better than the other set of tires, right? So if I could do it again, I would have raced on the practice tires, but it doesn't work that way.
So do you think that the SBS Classic should start it straight up like the 200 lapper?
Yeah.
You think the fast guy should?
Because
they invert, don't they? As a top 10 or something, or you drop pills?
They change it every year.
Oh, okay, all right then.
But one year they invert 1st through 6th goes 6 through 1, and 7 through 12 goes 12 through 7, right? So they flop it that way. Sometimes they pull a random pill and only do 8 or 6 all together. They don't ever really tell us till it's over because they're afraid somebody's going to sandbag and try to get that position in time trials, right?
Right.
But there's something to be said about rewarding the guys that are fast and have worked hard to be fast with that position. It's kind of sucks as a race car driver to go out there and bust your butt to be quick time or top 5 time, and then you have to start 10th or 11th, right? So these cars are very close. Classic last year, I think there was 17 or 18 cars under 19 seconds, which is pretty quick for us. And it's just once it's so hard to pass. You put a car that's 2, 3 100ths slower than you ahead of you, you're not passing it unless something happens, right? You're just not. There's not that speed, right? So I don't know how it'll make out the race, but from a driver, I think that's the way it should be. So
right. No, I agree. I mean, just you guys are working your butts off, for that race, and it's such a prestigious race. But hey, I don't have a dog in this fight, so I can't, go ahead and, I think that's what they should do. Just real quick, I see Joey Payne, the Jersey Jets watching. Hey, Jet, when are you going to come on and do the show? All right, I'm calling you out right now. So we'd love to get Joey Payne on here.
Joey, when are you going to come back and race a car again at Oswego Speedway, buddy?
That was going to be the next one. Thank you, DJ. Yeah, let's get that car. Let's get that car finished, Jersey Jet. Come on, Jet. We've been waiting a couple years now. It's time. It's time. Come on, brother. Bring that thing down to Florida. I'll help you work on it. Shit. Let's get it done. But I understand he's got a lot. He just did a lot of moving and stuff like that going on, and he's going to probably message me and tell me.
Yeah, I know he's working with Anthony too. Anthony's racing a lot more
Yeah,
this year, so I
absolutely,
love to see
absolutely.
that too. Another talented
Yes.
guy coming up. So
Yep. We got to get Anthony up here in the super here soon too. So yeah, but yeah, that might happen sooner or later, I'm sure. But so a couple questions I always like to ask everybody. Well, how do you see your season going this year? Are you happy with it? Are you kind of in the middle? Or do you want to improve? Because half the season's technically over with now, correct?
yeah, oh yeah.
So now you got the other half. What is it that you got to clean up for the second half, or is there nothing that you feel that you need to clean up?
Boy, we got to finish some races, right? So the first race we had a DNF to my fault here, right? Trying to go for a podium finish at the end of the race and looped it, and then week two was part of that huge melee on the front
Oh
straightaway that
Jesus!
cost us all a lot of money, and so that kind of buried us with two DNFs to start the year, and then we rallied back with I think it was a 19th to fourth hard charger the next week, and then second place finish the week after. So car still has good speed. We got a fast car. We just got to finish out some consistency here. Consistency here. Finish some races towards the front, and obviously the goal is to win a dang race. And once that happens, all bets are off after that. So
Yeah, definitely. Larry Gibson says, "Thank you for your support." Hey, no, Larry, thank you for everything you do, buddy. I appreciate what you got going on over there, and I can't wait to see see the results of Lancaster. I wish it was being broadcasted. I know it won't be, but if somebody goes live, please tag me in it or tag in Tight and Loose Hot. I would definitely like to go ahead and watch the racing there. Theodore, we will get to those. I will ask my questions that I like to ask, but and we'll start off with this one right here. What is, other than Oswego, which seems to be everybody's answer, what is your favorite track you have ever raced? Dirt or asphalt, doesn't matter. Any track you've ever raced.
boy, let me think. I don't know. I think Weedsport's pretty high on the list. Weedsport Speedway, top notch facility, interesting track, where one end of it's not the same as the other end. So um, it is always fun going to race at Weedsport. I always enjoyed racing there. Brewerton Speedway, another awesome facility too. That's just a cool place to race as a driver. So those are probably my off the cuff answers, but
Uh huh.
I think Oswego's obviously up there too.
Yeah. Any superstitions?
Oh yeah, John, I'll tell you, no green anywhere in the pits, no green phones, no green in your shirts, no green, no green, no green. That's my big one. That's probably the only main one, but yeah, no green.
Is that green? I'm
That's yellow.
colorblind, by the way. I'm
That's
colorblind,
yellow.
by the way.
No
So,
green.
no green. Okay, so if I brought over a tight end loose out sticker, Dan Connors did this to me last year. It has the checkered flag, as you can see. The
Yeah.
flag's right here. He says, "Hey, Willie, do you mind if I cut the green flag out of the sticker?" I said, "Brother, go for it. I don't care." He's like, "Thanks." Takes it over there, cuts the green out, and he winds up almost winning the classic. So.
One of these days, I'm gonna test the theory and go all green and see what happens. But I'm not. I
Oh,
don't know if I'm
mercy.
ready for that yet.
Yeah, that's getting wild there, man, for sure, for sure. Question here. I always like to ask about snacks and drinks and stuff like that. Favorite non-alcoholic drink?
Unsweetened iced tea.
Unsweetened, huh?
Unsweetened, man.
All right.
Drinking it right
Okay.
now with my vodka. So
There you go. There you go. So, well, next drink is favorite adult beverage.
oh man, I classic beer, light beer. I mean, I'm gonna have to give that outlaw light beer a try, but I'm drink Bush Light normally.
My man.
Iced tea and vodka is probably another main go to. So
There you go. For sure. So, uh, I always like to ask this question too, snack wise. I'm a big Welch fruit snacks. I like to go ahead and get a couple packs of those Welch fruit snacks every day. Is there a particular snack? Are you a snacker? Do you like pretzels or potato chips? Is there something like, you sit down and just, it's at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock little snack, do you
Yeah.
have that favorite snack?
Boy, I mean, I'm not typically a snacker, but Jenna's really got me hooked on these all dressed potato chips. They've kind of got me snacking more. But if we're going to that 8 o'clock range, man, maybe a bowl of ice cream. I'm
Ooh,
sucker for
okay.
that. So,
All right, all right. So what's your go-to flavor for the ice cream?
oh boy, I'm gonna embarrass myself here. I'm pretty boring. I just get me some vanilla ice cream.
That's all right, man. That's all right. Ain't no wrong with that. Yeah. Yep. That was my dad's go-to, man. So I
Yeah.
can't even, I can't even knock that one. You got to watch Jenna though, DJ. I'm going to let you know right now. It's just you and me talking. She's a bad influence. Okay. Okay. Just
Yeah, she
kidding.
likes chocolate peanut butter ice cream. What the heck is that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. What? Yeah. Come on. See what I'm saying? Jenna's gonna be. I know she's probably flipping me off right now, but yeah. So,
There's a
but
tape delay, but I'll probably get it here in a minute.
yeah, yeah. And I think there's like a 30-second delay, but so what's your goals for the future? Are you happy where you're at? Do you want to kind of see what's going out there? Obviously, if somebody come knocking on DJ Schumann's door that says, "Hey, look, come drive this 350, come try out this big block," you're going to jump in it. So, love you too. There's Jenna. Are you going to? Do you have any more goals that or are you happy where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of highlighted over and over again the main goal is to win a race at Oswego Speedway, right? I don't care at
Mm-hmm.
this point if it's in a street stock, if it's in a TQ, whatever. That's the goal, right?
Right.
I would really love to experience, a super modified. That's always been a long term goal, but I'm getting to the point in my life where I don't have as much energy to continue to do this all summer long. So unless we really, something changes, I don't know how much longer we're going to continue to do it. But I'd love an opportunity if one was given or things fell into place for a joint partnership, even. But
Right. Right.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess to summarize, win a race, drive a super modified. Those are the main goals. So.
There you go. There you go. So, question I want to ask: What What are your thoughts on just only running 8, 9 races now at Oswego? I mean, some guys, and hold on here, just so we're not getting you in hot water or anything like that, but some guys say they enjoy the time off because now they can spend it with the family, and the girlfriend, the wife, the kids. Some guys want to race every single weekend. They want to have 16 races. Down here in Florida, we only race our division only races once a month, and I love it because I can really schedule my extracurricular things now.
Right.
What's your thoughts on it? Are you kind of just like, it doesn't make no difference to me?
We had I just had a conversation with somebody with this. I don't even remember who it was, but when I came over from dirt and I was running 20 to 30 races a year, the shorter schedule was welcomed, right? At that point, I think it was maybe 10 races, 11 races. It was welcomed. At this point, I wish we had a couple more. I don't know if I want to be going to 20, 30 races like I used to do.
Right.
But and I don't mind the weeks off in between. In a perfect world, I'd like to see it try to start a little bit earlier. I know that the weather's always questionable up here. But try to do that, or Dirt Week makes it hard to go any later, and obviously Classic. But I think I'm okay with it. I don't hate it. If I wanted to race more, we can go back to that conversation about getting a dirt car, right? So
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah. I just know as a fan, I really look forward to in the past of like, okay, Oswego's running, this weekend,
Yeah.
and just my Saturdays are always There's always, get ready for the couch. Now it's like, is Oswego running this weekend?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I don't know
Yeah.
if they're racing this week. I got to double check.
Absolutely.
So as a fan, that sucks, because I can't get enough of super modifieds.
The argument can definitely be made that lose some interest when you're not racing all the time, right? So from the fans. So.
Yeah. I 100% agree on that one. I believe that's a firm argument right there. Because if somebody else finds something else more interesting to go to, are they going to want to come support your local racetrack? So, like I said, that's a conversation for a campfire and a beer. We don't need to go ahead and do that on here. But
right.
Yeah, so Kevin says every other week is best. I would be fine with that. I really would be.
Hey,
yeah,
DJ, I do have a question for you. You brought up TQ. Was that like as in TQ midgets?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that you raced TQ midgets before. I know.
Well, I didn't, but if I could win one at Oswego Speedway, I would. But the 600 micros I raced are very, very similar. I actually even competed in Atlantic City in the indoor race with my dirt car. At the time that was offset to compete with the TQs.
So they raced the TQs at Oswego too?
Yes.
They used to. They haven't.
Back in the years, it's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably, oh boy, Will, help me out here. Probably 7-8 years now since that's
It's got to be, yeah. It's got to be, yeah. Maybe even longer than maybe.
It used to be the support show with the ISMA on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, they used to be the support show on Saturday. Hey, right here, you got Jersey Jet on here.
Yeah, he used to win it all the time.
Hey, Joey, when was the last time TQs ran at Oswego? I know Jet will know for sure. He'll tell us the year, but yeah, I know he definitely would know for sure. But yeah, he used to win it a lot.
In the Angelo 45.
Oh God, yeah, man, the Skull Bandit car.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, he was unstoppable in that car. This is why we got to get you on the show, Joey. 11 years ago, I was close. I said 10.
Wow, that long.
Yep. I knew it's been a while. I'm sorry about that, folks. But yeah, I knew it's been a while for sure. But yeah, they ran the first time I've caught your podcast. Pretty cool. Nice beard, Dave. Oh, Kenny Calhoun. Crazy Kenny Calhoun. How you doing, brother? Hey, folks, well, I got you guys on here. You guys are all watching. We had the numbers up. Please like the show. Love it. Like Tight and Loose Out. Like Redline Radio LLC. Like the show, please, folks. It helps out the algorithm, helps us all out. I'd appreciate if you guys can hit that like button. It's literally takes you guys 2 seconds to do that for me. I would so greatly appreciate that. Well, we're going to get to the part here where I told you if I forget, remind me, but I didn't forget. DJ, do you have anybody you want to thank?
Oh boy, yeah, I got lots of people to thank, but I'll try to run through it here quick.
Take your time. Take your time.
This is for the points of our sponsors here. I got Sharkscapes, been with me for a long time through the dirt racing and onto the asphalt. Always a huge supporter. Our buddy Rupert, Dennis Rupert's Party Rentals, supporter of the show. Great guy.
Yes.
Can't thank him enough for what he does for me. Murphy's Excavating, Fitzpatrick Financial, Oswego Auto and Tire, another huge supporter of Oswego Speedway and their racers, former racer Steve Apt himself, East Coast Seal Co. And then new this year, we got a couple new sponsors I'm excited about. Holiday Inn Express in Oswego. If you're coming in for Classic, look them up. Get a hotel room there close to the racetrack. Supports the racetrack. Always great to have them there. Thankful to have them on board. Ray Haynes State Farm Insurance, and Pulse Vending, my buddy Paul, who actually houses my car for me, vending nicotine vape vending machine business. So thank you to them. So those are the sponsors. Got to thank the people that support me, not financially, but through help. My father, Mark Schumann, like I said, 3 hours every way each week. Couldn't do it without him. Mark Johnson, Ricky Pritchard, Scott Delahunt, Rippy Alvarado. I got to thank my girlfriend, Jenna. And I'm not forgetting my daughter, Delaney, this time, like I did in my interview a couple weeks ago. So shout out to her. Always my biggest fan, cheering from the grandstands, making me feel the love. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, and my mom. Sorry, Mom. Love you.
Oh, yeah. One question just popped in my mind real quick before we sign off here. Who's the toughest guy to race against that you race against at Oswego?
Ooh, boy. Oh, there's a couple, man. A couple come to mind right away, right? So let's go with my buddy. I say buddy, but my pal Mike Bruce, man. The guy never lets down. 110% every lap. His car could be a pile of dog shit, and he's still wheeling it for everything he's got. He's always a tough competitor. Doesn't let anybody get by him very easily. And then honorable mention to Noah Ratcliffe. That kid, he can wheel a race car and always keeps me on my toes, but is awfully respectful on the racetrack.
Yeah. Good kid too, for sure.
Yep.
Good kid, good family. Yep. So, okay. Well, DJ, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. I will see you here in about 5 weeks. I'm guaranteeing there's going to be a beer in both of our hands when I see you next time.
Look forward to it.
Yep. You take care. Good luck for the rest of the season. I'll be watching you. I'll be cheering for you. And folks, he did forget this, but to let you know, he's got shirts for sale, people. He said he's got like 40 of these bad boys left. He's got fat boy sizes. He's got kid sizes. And I know he's got kid sizes because he sent me 2 with this shirt also too. So yes.
Yeah.
I just
got hoodies. Show him the back. Will, show him the back.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Sorry, folks. I got to be a model for a second here for DJ. Here you go.
There you go. Oswego Lighthouse on it. We appreciate everybody that's bought them, and I look forward to selling some more classic and seeing everybody. All right. Thank you, Will. Thank you, David. And I look forward to trying some of that Outlaw Light beer. All right.
Yeah. You guys like that modeling, huh? That's a nice ensemble I got going on here. But yeah, you guys go ahead and hook up DJ, go in the pits. Tell them you want one of them damn shirts. And I'm telling you right now, they're great quality shirts. Beautiful. I'm telling you. And I'll be wearing it up there at Classic with pride. I promise you that. So you, DJ, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. And boys, get out there and support these SBS boys. I'm telling you right now, they're putting on a hell of a show. They got a resurgence of this division. They've been around for a long time. They're going to be around for even longer time. So DJ, thank you so much again for coming on. And ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. DJ Schumann. All right, Dave. Well, I know we ran over by 2 minutes, but I know the owner and he's pretty cool. So, yeah. But just want to go ahead and thank Outlaw Light Beer for being a proud sponsor of Redline Radio. I'd like to go ahead and thank all my sponsors for supporting the show and everything that you guys do. Joey Payne, I'm going to be reaching out to you here, brother. I'm going to get you on this damn show. We're going to talk. And we're going to cut it up. I might have to make that a 2-hour show because all the racing that you've done and still doing, we're going to have to get you on here. Like I tell everybody, before I sign out, I'd always want to tell you guys, the last words I ever tell you guys is I love you. I love you guys getting on here every single week. Kevin, thank you so much for letting me know. You tell us every week it's a great show, even though I'm so hard on myself. But seeing that comment always cheers me up. So thank you, Kevin, for doing that for me. But I just want to go ahead and say I love you guys so much. And you guys take care and have yourself a great weekend. I'm out. Tipping the bell, boy.
Redline Network introduces our newest partnership, Outlaw Light. Outlaw is crafted for all of the beer drinking patrons of America. They aren't preaching or teaching. Their mission, plain and simple, to provide a high quality beer at an affordable price. Outlaw is crisp, crushable, refreshing. Available by the case, tall boys, 16-ounce six-packs or singles. Go to outlawbeer.com to find the nearest can or tavern near you. The Redline Network proudly raises their cans to you. Stay bold, Outlaw.